All right, everybody buckle up because after last night, that's all we can do. The Saturday slate of college football games does not slow down with two top 25 matchups at 3:30. Oregon, Georgia, Cincy at Arkansas. At 7, we've got Utah. They head out east to play the Gators. Then 7:30, three top 5 teams in play. Utah State visits Bama, and number 5 Notre Dame takes on Ohio State. They're in prime time. CBS Sports college football writer Barrett Sallee in with us now. Let's make some picks, shall we, as we head to the weekend. We don't have to wait too long to see the defending champs. Number 3, Georgia. Number 11, Oregon, square off in Atlanta. Over-under set at 54 right now. We know the Bulldogs lost a significant chunk of that defense to the NFL. So do you think this game turns into a shootout?
No, I think it's still a defensive battle for 2 reasons. One, Bo Nix against Georgia, that doesn't work. At Auburn, when Bo Nix was with the Tigers, 0-3, 2 total touchdowns, 3 total turnovers. This guy is absolutely dreadful in big games. Now, on Georgia's side, you mentioned all the defensive losses. They've still got Jalen Carter. They've still got Nolan Smith. They've still got Christopher Smith. They've still got Keely Ringo. They've still got Kirby Smart. They've still got Will Muschamp. This defense will be fine. Now, it's not going to be as good as it was last year, but it will be just fine. So if you combine an Oregon offense that I don't trust and a Georgia defense that I think is going to be pretty darn good, top 10, you've got a one-sided game. And if only one team scores, and that's Georgia, you're going to hit the under. So I think the under is easy money here. I just can't see how Oregon breaks the 14-point mark. And if that's the case, then Georgia's just going to bleed the clock in the second half. So the under is the money play here. I don't think it's going to even come close to that total.
You mentioned Oregon's offense not being able to trust them. That number 11 near their name at the bottom of the screen, is that maybe, are we ranking them a little too high as we head into the season?
Well, maybe a little bit, but someone's got to be there, right? You know, we do our CBS 131, and, you know, after the third-ranked team in the country, you kind of just sit there and like, all right, there's something wrong with all of them. There's something wrong with every single one of these teams. So, yeah, I mean, maybe a little overrated, but, I mean, I think in this day and age of college football with so much roster turnover and so much coaching turnover, it's hard to gauge anything beyond the top 5 because everybody has a major, major flaw.
All right, to make another mention of something Oregon fans probably hate, let's move over to Utah. Defending Pac-12 champs, they're a slight favorite on the road in the Swamp. Does this game against the Gators get dragged into the mud as well? Over-under there set at 51.5.
Yes, it does. Go under. This game's going to be won and lost in the trenches. Florida's defensive front, very good. Utah's front on both sides of the line of scrimmage, very good. I think both of these teams are going to want to ugly this game up. And when you look at Utah, it's not just Cam Rising. Tavion Thomas, great running back. Micah Bernard, great running back. They want to make this a possession-style game. And really both teams, I think, want to do that. So I don't think Florida's going to get very creative. And really, if Utah gets up in the Swamp, they're not going to want to take any unnecessary risks. They're just going to want to get out of there with the win because they know what that would mean, not only to their college football playoff chances, but to the Pac-12's playoff chances in general. So this one will be ugly as well. Big fan of teams that play at the line of scrimmage going under early in the season.
Yeah, we'll see how they handle going from that sort of West Coast to the East Coast. Now, last year, UCLA won 8 games for the first time since 2015. Does that carry over into their season opener, and do you think they cover that 23.5-point spread against Bowling Green?
23.5, 33.5, 43.5, you know, whatever. UCLA wants to make a statement. Chip Kelly knows what's going on across town at USC. And I guarantee you in that locker room, they are furious that USC is getting all that pub when UCLA was pretty good last year. They get their star quarterback in Dorian Thompson-Robinson back. He fits exactly what Chip Kelly wants to do offensively. A great running game in Zach Charbonnet, and they are good up front on the offensive line as well. So you just don't see – I don't see how anybody really in the MAC in Group of 5 conference is going to be able to slow down a really good UCLA offense. Because really, for the first time since Chip Kelly got there, this is the identity of what he wants to do. So take UCLA. You won't have to worry about it. I think they win big in their opener.
Small correction on my part. Minus 24, but as you said, minus 23.5, minus 33.5, minus 43.5. might not matter. All right, another top 25 showdown between Cincinnati and Arkansas. Are we putting the Bearcats on upset alert this early out of the gate following a playoff appearance?
I love Cincinnati. I love Luke Fickell, but I just don't see them right now. Maybe later in the season, this is a good spot for Cincinnati. It's just not right now. You lose two of the best defensive backs, maybe the two best defensive backs in the country in Sauce Gardner and Kobe Bryant last year. You lose a guy in Desmond Ridder who hopefully as a Falcons fan is starting by midseason for the Atlanta Falcons. Jerome Ford, you lose everybody off a team that was pretty darn solid. Obviously went to the college football playoff. But Arkansas, right now, you look at continuity in college football, especially early in the season, very important. Kendall Briles still there. Barry Odom still there. The offense and the defense going to be just fine. And if you don't know the name KJ Jefferson, get to know him. He's very Cam Newton-ish. Now, obviously, he's not going to win the Heisman Trophy like Cam Newton did at Auburn, but the same body style, same skill set, and that fits perfect with what Sam Pittman wants to do with that offense. So I think Arkansas wins by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. Look, again, early in the season, Arkansas just fine. Later in the season, okay, maybe we go with Cincinnati, but the situation, you couldn't draw up a worse situation for the Bearcats.
All right, let's keep things in the SEC, shall we? Lane Kiffin coming off a 10-win season, year 2 at Ole Miss. Do they get off to a strong start against Troy, entering this game as 21.5-point favorites over the Trojans?
Yes, they do. Lane Kiffin knows the point spread. He's even talked about it numerous times. He sees that 21.5-point spread as disrespectful. Why? Because he won in the transfer portal. He got 2 better running backs than he had last year. He got Michael Trigg, a great tight end. He got Jalen Robinson, a Swiss Army knife. He got Jackson Dart, a very, very solid quarterback to compete with Luke Altmaier, who he was very comfortable with. So to me, Lane's going to want to show off his new toys. He feels disrespected that his team, which went to the Sugar Bowl last year, is second fiddle to Texas A&M in that SEC West, at least according to the minds of a lot of people. Not me. I think Ole Miss is a 10-win team. I don't think Texas A&M is, but I think Lane Kiffin takes things personally. You're going to see him run up the score as much as he possibly can. I think this is a 30, 35-point game.
Lane doing Lane things. All right, Barrett Sallee, the most popular guy in Eugene, Oregon right now. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday morning with your picks. All right, let's take a look at those picks one more time. Again, the unders there for some of those big-time top 25 showdowns. Oregon, Georgia, under at 54. Utah and Florida, same at 51.5. He likes UCLA to win big over Bowling Green. Arkansas to pull off the upset, the early upset over Cincinnati. And then Ole Miss to win big over Troy.
Oh, we got those early bird specials. Hello, Temple, my alma mater. What? You know what, Sportsline? I love you guys. At Duke, though. You know, a battle of 2 first-year head coaches there. Grab Duke. Okay, Sportsline, I do not like you.
Who did
right
this
now.
to you? Who hurt you?
It's a mixture of Tully and you know, the gods that have it when it comes to sports and our friends with Sportsline. Tech taking on Old Dominion, by the way. They've seen each other 3 times. ODU actually beat the Hokies in 2018. You can grab the over 47.5. And how about this, Mel Tucker, opening the season Western Michigan there. Should be interesting. Grab the over, yes, of 54 with Sparty playing in this one.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.